Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review, and here we are this evening. It's 8:21 p.m. to be exact, so it's the evening. You can probably see it's a little darker outside at the time. A first for this channel and a first for this review series, and we'll go to Panda Express. Now, Panda Express is a, they mostly focus on Chinese cuisine, but it's an Americanized version. You can think of it perhaps as a maybe more upscale Taco Bell, in the fact that, well, Taco Bell claims that they do Mexican cuisine, but they Americanize it and sell it pretty much as fast food. Panda Express pretty much does the same exact thing, where, they get Chinese and Asian cuisine, they Americanize it, whatever it may be, baste it in oil, batter it up, fry it up, and then sell it as fast food, though it is a bit more expensive. People have said good things about it, and I just never have had the chance to actually try this food myself. So that said, Panda Express released a new item fairly recently called General Tso's Chicken. Now, General Tso's Chicken, of course, is a staple in many establishments' menus. That serve Chinese cuisine. You'd think they would have it, but there's actually a new introduction to Panda Express. So I got General Tso's Chicken with a big heaping side of fried rice. You can see it right there. Using the fork here as a pointer. This is General Tso's chicken. This is the fried rice. It's rice that's fried, and that's all there is to it there. So here's the chicken. Of course, it comes with some vegetables already in it, though you could get a side of mixed veggies. So it seems like the emphasis really here is mostly on the chicken itself. It seems like mostly they're just focusing on the chicken, what it tastes like, how it's prepared, etc., and not really the vegetables. So here's a piece of the chicken. It's kind of glazed over. It's fried. It's battered. Almost looks like a glorified chicken nugget. That does definitely have a little bit of a seasoning on it, and again, a little bit of a glaze as well. So that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna try this. I'm gonna let you know what it tastes like. So, General Tso's Chicken from Panda Express going in, and we'll try it out. I know the chicken's covered in rice, but, mostly you can still taste the chicken. It doesn't really obscure the flavor at all. We'll try this bigger piece, and then I'll tell you what it tastes like, really. Okay. Cap wasn't on securely enough. This is root beer, by the way. Alright, well, the General Tso's Chicken from Panda Express. What does it taste like exactly? Now, of course, the emphasis, once more, as I said, is mostly on the chicken here. That's the most important thing. The vegetables will probably more likely than not taste like vegetables, plus there was a very small selection of them there. Which means there isn't much to try. In terms of the chicken, though, they put a good amount there. And here's what it tastes like. The chicken itself, I've never had it from here. It's white meat chicken. When you bite in, the chicken is, it's very Americanized in that regard. It's not flame grilled or seared or anything. It's like, pretty much breaded, battered chicken nuggets that they put in the fryer, and then they toss them around in the sauce. It's like boneless wings. That's the best way to describe it. You take the chicken, you eat it, there's a little bit of a crunch to it. Of course, it does still regain some crispiness, even though it is covered in the sauce itself. But you do take a bite of it, and it is very tender, very juicy, very flavorful. Now, some people may say, you know, this kind of bears a semblance almost like the orange chicken from Panda Express. And when I was up there ordering, I was looking between the two, and I was seeing, you know, they do look quite similar. They're both those kind of nuggets. They both have that glaze over them. You know, they're really, aside from some color differences, are relatively indiscernible. And that being said, you may wonder, well, do they taste the same? The best way to describe these is that they are more savory than anything else. I believe the orange chicken, from what I read, mostly has an emphasis on sweetness. This, on the other hand, while it is a little bit sweet, you're mostly going to notice rather a saltiness in the chicken and on the breading, and then a little bit of an embedded spiciness as well. Now, it's not overwhelmingly spicy. It's not something that you're going to be saying, well, I definitely need large quantities of water or other liquid to accompany this. But you are going to say, well, there is a little bit of a spiciness to it. And the spiciness really does add a little bit of an extra flavor to it as well. It's not one of those things that actually detracts from the dish, because sometimes, you know, you'll eat something that's very spicy and all you'll be focusing on is the spice and how spicy and hot it is, and not the actual flavor of the product itself. So in this regard, you know, when you do take a bite, and when you do consume it, you're going to notice, well, the chicken is juicy, it's tender, there's a tiny little bit of sweetness in that glaze, but mostly it's going to focus on a savory, salty, and spiciness as well. I would describe it best, though, as flavorful, because it is quite that. And I think it does have a good mixture of flavors as well. They're able to incorporate a number of elements in this chicken and be able to pull it off rather successfully. That being said, you're able to bite in, you're able to get a little bit of a sweetness here, a little bit of a saltiness there, a little bit of a spiciness there. And to be able to incorporate all three of those usually makes for a pretty tasty meal, which is what this is. Now, price-wise for this, you know, you get the, you know, this is a small, I guess they call it a bowl, but it actually came in a, you know, little container here, a little styrofoam container. Price-wise for this is $5.90. So roughly $6 for it. And really the emphasis with this seems to be the side. You know, they put in like 20 heapings of the fried rice, which I've heard good things about too. And then a tiny bit of the chicken. So if you're interested in getting more of the chicken, you might be a little bit of a little disappointed here when you see how much of the side that they actually put in. Nonetheless, though, I think it does taste good. I think it is a little bit overpriced. I think this would be better if even it was just, you know, $5 instead of $6, but I guess they gotta make money somehow. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, for what it tastes like, I mean, it does taste pretty good. You know, you are getting good quality chicken, a good mixture of flavors, but it is a little bit pricey, and you know, that can always, if you're low on cash, can always be a bit of a turn-off in that regard. So that being said, I'm going to be rating General Tso's chicken from Panda Express. I'm going to have to rate this product. I'm just going to have to give it a 7.5 out of 10, which is average on my scale. Even though the chicken itself does taste pretty good, if they put a little bit more in there, if perhaps they even added some more vegetables in there, and if it was priced a little more accordingly, it would get a much higher rating. And that's what I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, and that's all that there is to it. This is Running an Empty Food Review. I'm your host, Report of the Week, and this is General Tso's Chicken from Panda Express. Thank you for watching, and take care.